Let's go to Bill, who's a West Ham fan. All right, Bill?
Hi, Bill.
Hello, mate. Hey, mate, how you doing?
Yeah, good, Bill. I mean, what did you make of it tonight? I look at it and go, away from home, Leeds, hard team to beat, tough place to go. They're at you 24/7. 2-2, is it the worst result in the world?
It's a tough game, but still, the position we're in, how are you not winning that? How are you not winning that?
Well, because it's a tough place to go.
I know that. I was there tonight, run away home now. It's a tough place to go. It's a good atmosphere, but how are you not winning that? You've got to win it. Moyes, you've got to beat them. I'm sorry, you've got to beat them.
Bill, what do you think's gone wrong? Because
I don't know. In my opinion, I think the players we've signed, they've not gelled well. It's got to be that. Another thing, I think Noble not being in a dressing room, that's done something, but that's my opinion. But for mostly, it's the players not gelling well, the West Ham players.
Yeah, I think the problem you've got, I look at West Ham and think David Moyes has got credit in the bank, Bill, because of what he's done over the last couple of seasons.
No,
he's done a great job, and you were flying high, and maybe you're overachieved a little bit. And then all of a sudden, you spent a few quid, spent some money, and you go, right, let's kick on. You know, we want to stay amongst it in the top half of the table, fighting to maybe get in Europe and continue them European road trips that you've been on, and you find yourself in 17th place. So the fans are starting to turn.
We're not happy. I'll tell you that now. We're not happy.
Do you want him gone? Would you want him sacked?
In my opinion, yeah, I do, because the changes he's made each game are not right. I mean, how can you start Souček over players like how is Ben Rama not starting the game tonight? He's been our best player for weeks.
I know, Bill, but you say, how can you start Souček? Souček was one of the best midfielders in the country.
Yeah, a few seasons ago, mate, yeah.
Well, what's happened to him then?
Has he stopped getting in the box? Because that's how I see him, Souček.
I don't know what's going on with him, but he's not playing well at all. He's not winning headers. He's not doing anything right. I mean, Arsenal, I was Arsenal away. He completed 6 passes the whole game.
I wonder what Declan Rice is thinking.
If I was Declan Rice, I'd be out there right away. I wouldn't even think about staying next season.
Do you feel like he's starting to get to that point though now, Bill?
Definitely. You've got to be. How can you? The fair of his quality, you've got to be thinking, I can't stay here. We're in a relegation battle, and that is the fact.
And I'm looking at Antonio. Do you think he's burnt out? He's had a season and a half of chasing lost causes on his own.
Yeah. Laughing at Bill here. I'm laughing at Bill. He's editing himself very well. You know,
I missed that.
Yeah, he's almost at the point of where we're having to dump him, but he realises just at the last second that he's live on national radio.
It's very hard.
I know it's hard. Bill, I know. I feel your pain. I've been there. I know exactly how you're feeling. Let's go to Adam, who's a Spurs fan. All right, Ad?
How you doing, James? How you doing, guys?
Yeah, good. Look, big performance tonight from the team. Finally, looked like the Spurs side that we saw a bit last season. And what's next for Spurs? We need to continue this form, continue that style of play on the front foot, going after them, pressing all over the pitch. It was better to see.
Definitely, Jamie. I just want to say thank you for that rant earlier on that you made, really making our views heard. I just wanted to talk about the spend under Antonio Conte. Some of the figures have been inflated due to Christian Romero's arrival. He was initially brought on loan, and we were meant to make sort of payments in seasons thereafter. So that figure's actually inflated. Mm-hmm. And I've got some figures about his spend whilst he was at Chelsea and Juventus in the last decade. So at Chelsea, he spent about 381 million, approximately. These are the figures from Sky that they brought on. 381 million in 2 years. They won the Premier League and the FA Cup. At Juventus, from 2011 to 2014, he spent around 148 million, but the prices have inflated since then, of course.
Yeah.
So compared to the other teams like Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, Man City, we're not spending enough, and that's what us fans are not happy about.
Yeah, I look. My argument with Spurs at the minute is you bring in Antonio Conte, who's a winner, and yes, he goes into clubs who have already got top players, but Spurs had a couple of top players in Son and Kane. But the way he wants to play is 5 at the back, solid. That's how he wants to do things, and he needs top-class centre-halves. And apart from Romero, the players that he's got in terms of wing-backs and players that he's had to play ain't been good enough. So there's no point bringing in Antonio Conte if you're not going to back him. Yes, we added some players to the squad where it had to be better, and he brought in some decent players, some good players, but we need to sign top players now, and that's why Antonio Conte is coming out saying, I need to do this, I need to spend. And what's the point in bringing him in? And what's the point in him signing a new contract if you're not going to give him loads of money to spend? You've got to, because that's the manager that he is.
No, we've seen this before. We've seen this under Poch. We should have spent. Even Poch said we needed a rebuild. We brought in Mourinho. Same thing happened. He left, and now we've got Antonio Conte. And this January transfer window will be a big indication as to where this club will go in the next 3 to 5 years. If we don't spend now, we see what ambition the club has, and that's what will happen. We won't win anything as we have been. If we do spend now, if we do back Conte, he'll win us trophies. If we get us the big titles, we need to back him.
You know when you watch Liverpool play and you think Trent Arnold's up the pitch, Randy Robertson's up the pitch, Canate and Van Dijk are having to defend on the halfway line on their own and they're exposed, but they deal with it most of the time, but they've been struggling of late. If you're Eric Dyer in that back three, you can't get any more protection. Any of them defenders, they've got a back five, they've got wing backs at the side of them. For example, Eric Dyer's got 2 centre-halves either side of him, 2 full-backs either side of them. He's also got Højbjerg and Bentancur when he plays, he's skipped tonight, sat in front, and they still concede goals. So that tells you everything. You need centre-halves who can smell danger better.
No, I agree.
That indicates how terrible the defence has been. Eric Dyer's been here for 9 years.
Yeah, I know.
He's been there under Poch. He wasn't starting when Alderweireld and Vertonghen were there. Davinson Sanchez was starting ahead of him at times under Poch. So that shows how far we've been in terms of investments. And let me tell you this: what you said about Liverpool, even Arsenal and Man City and whatnot, their defence is what wins you titles, and our defence is not good enough, and that's where we need to spend.
And you've got Harry Kane playing defensive midfield player half the time. Honestly, I was watching him tonight. I was thinking, what are you doing? He's playing like Kante.
Yeah, there were times in the first half where he looked really deep, and you could see why we couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Second half, he played higher up the pitch, and he gets himself goals.
Imagine how many he would score if he stayed up there.
Jamie, let me tell you this. Harry Kane, Son, Romero, Kane, he's nearly 30, 31 years of age. Son, even the same, 30 years old. These players are in their prime, okay? You need to spend money now so we're not wasting their prime and we can get the best out of them and have the best possible chance at winning trophies. And that's what Daniel Levy needs to do. He needs to spend money.
No, I agree with you, Adam. Absolutely. You've got to bring in some top players, and as you say, prices have inflated massively now, and the days of being able to get a top player for 50 million are gone. You have to deal with the fact that the teams above you, like Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Man United, are willing to spend 70, 80 million to progress and get in top 4 in Champions League football, and Spurs are going to have to do it.